Welcome to day 2 at MPE Live. We're talking about transformation, agentic payments harmony. Yesterday was all about those questions. Today it's all about answering those questions. What do you need to do to actually execute and make sure that you're ready, not just for 2026, but all the way up to 2030? My name is Dwayne Gefferie, and this is MPE Live TV. Welcome to MPE Live TV, and I'm here joined by Neira Jones, the esteemed Neira Jones.
Oh, thank you, Dwayne.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We're having a lot of conversations here on the floor. You're having a lot of conversations. Maybe to get straight to it, what's the most pressing thing that you believe merchants should be focusing on right now?
Well, right now, as you would expect, Dwayne, I focus on regulation and compliance and governance. And it's not new, but it's even more poignant now in the payments industry that we have impending European regulations in the form of PSD3 and PSR. So what I find is increasingly people ask me, well, this is all very confusing because the regulatory landscape is becoming so complex, and with impending regulation and text is not finalized, but we still have to do stuff. So where do we start? And I've got a very interesting story about that. As you probably know, I deliver training. And I've been delivering training for, more than a decade. And I deliver a fundamental of payments course. And it's a 2-day course. And during the course, for the first time in a very long time, because this is fundamental, this is not deep dive into agentic or anything like that. We're talking about the fundamentals of payments. And I arrive onto the short, high-level regulatory section talking about safeguarding, which is on everybody's mind right now. So the delegate asked me, well, Neira, can you please tell us, if we're an acquirer, do we actually need to safeguard funds? And I had to pause. And then he goes, because I have one set of lawyers that is telling me we do, and I've got this other set of lawyers that is telling me we don't. So coming from an acquirer and a traditional sort of mainstream acquirer, it was a case of, okay, so if I put myself in the shoes of this particular type of acquirer, then in those circumstances you probably don't. But you have two sets of lawyers giving you two conflicting pieces of advice. So let me come back to you.
Yeah.
So what happened next, I researched that very question, which is, does an acquirer need to safeguard funds? And it ended up being a 105 pages document.
Wow.
As a regulatory roadmap. And the answer to that question was in chapter 8, because that very question led me down a rabbit hole trying to democratize payment and make people understand what they need to do when they're an acquirer. But when you start looking at acquirers, you have to look at PSPs, you have to look at issuers, you have to look at all of the ecosystem players to say, this is what you have to do right now. And then it becomes not just about safeguarding, but all of the other regs that are actually impending, and ended up a white paper which went absolutely viral on LinkedIn. So I'm quite proud of it because people find it of value. And to this day, today, and I wrote it about a month ago in February, updated it in March because there was some clarification around crypto and such likes. And here we are. So I think it's exciting, and it's always about trying to make it simple for people, especially in the regulatory space.
What is the number one conversation that you're having on the floor right now, and why is that relevant?
Number one conversation I'm having on the floor right now is well, I wouldn't say number one because there are a couple, but I would say lots of people are talking about agentic commerce, as you probably realize, and you just come out of a panel talking about that. Merchants are really interested because they're also scared of being disintermediated. So now it's largely not deployed and you still have the human in the loop. But if you fast forward 10 years, what do merchants need to do now? Do they need to worry about some stuff? And the really interesting panel earlier on was about data. Clean up your data, and also the whole element of trust. So last year, when we were talking about agentic, the main topic was essentially identity and consent is really stuff we need to look about. Now, it's really, really interesting because now we talk about, of course, identity and consent, but now we also talk about intent. And that's a new dimension to the whole place.
Fantastic. Final question that I have then, for those who haven't attended MPE 2026, why do you believe that they should be here next year? Why is this so relevant for any payments professional to be?
Oh my God. So, Dwayne, you know I'm going to be very biased because I've been involved with MPE for the past 16 years and it's now the 19th conference. So this is where you have real conversations. The agenda is curated absolutely superbly. And of course, we promote innovation at MPE and we also celebrate what's good in the ecosystem. And we'll have the awards tonight. So I'm very much looking forward to that so that we can celebrate those that do good in the ecosystem.
Fantastic. Neira, I want to thank you very much for joining us here at MPE Live 2026 and looking forward to the award show tonight.
Thank you. Likewise.